Hello, Internet. My name is the Golden Stalfos, and today I'm just going to complain about my life because it's so great. So, my girlfriend just broke up with me, um, and it's great. We've been together for a year and a half, and then she broke up with me over text. A second time that's happened to me, actually. It's just as fun the second time around. Equally fun is not knowing why. Like, I have a pretty good idea that it's because I suck, which is fair, but I don't know exactly what part of me sucking was the thing. Um, so I can't work on it. Well, I can, but I'm just kind of working blindly on the things that I think are important, but not really understanding what, was the contributing factor. And honestly, I'm not too broken up about it because I kind of saw it coming and kind of been feeling broken up about it for the last like 2 months. So I'm kind of over that phase now, which is dumb, but whatever. Um, well, because what happened was at the beginning of December, she got me sick with COVID, and we both had to quarantine in separate locations for a long time. And she took my dog with her, so she has the dog, and I'm trying to get the dog back because, you know, I deserve something out of this fucking mess. But anyway, for that first like week during the quarantine, I wasn't feeling good, but I knew my symptoms were going to get worse later. So I just kind of threw myself into working on my project so that I would have stuff for when I got so sick that I wouldn't be able to work anymore. Um, and she was also sick, and so we didn't talk a whole lot. Um, and then after that, I kept trying to message her, and she just wouldn't fucking respond. And before the quarantine, we spoke like daily. Like she came over here almost every day. And then after that happened, she'd respond to my messages maybe like once a week. And so I just had this weird sense that, like, wow, the girl I've been seeing for a year and a half just fucking ghosted me. How the fuck does that happen? Um, because that's about how it feels. Can I get an F in the chat, please? Come on. Not the chat, the comments. This isn't live. Anyway. But anyway, then she just wouldn't come over for like a month. At first because we were in quarantine, and then afterwards because she was like, no, I don't want to get sick again. And I'm like, you're not going to get sick again. You gave it to me, you dork. But yeah. And then when she finally did come over, she brought the dog with her to hang out for a little bit. And she just like grabbed a bunch of her shit and took it home with her. And I was like, that's weird and probably a red flag, but I don't want to make a big deal about it because I don't want to accelerate this process if that's what's happening. Um, you know, and then the next week she did the same thing. Waited a whole week to come back over, and then, yeah. And then a little bit more time passed and now we're here. And she was just like, you know, last week she came over and I tried to have a conversation about like, all right, I feel like things are kind of falling apart. Why are they falling apart? What can I do about it? How can I, you know, work on this? Because like, and it's not even one of those stupid things you see in movies where like, baby, I can change. Please don't leave me. No, I just mean like, I'm a grown ass adult I'm not afraid of self-improvement. I don't think I'm perfect, you know. I know I have shit to work on. Just tell me which of the shit that I'm working on you think is most important. Because I do like you and I do want this to keep going. And if I can make a genuine effort and keep it going, then great. But you just wouldn't fucking answer that question. Um, either because she genuinely didn't know, which is probably not true. I mean, you know what you want and what you don't want and what's causing problems. Let's be real. Um, but or because she thought, oh, it would hurt your feelings. And like, okay, first of all, fuck my feelings. Who gives a shit about my feelings? My feelings are meaningless. And you know it. Second of all, like, what do you think hurts more? Having a genuine criticism or like the whole relationship falling apart? Because let me tell you, I can take criticism, okay? I boy howdy have I had to deal with criticism in my life. Um, I get it, but but sometimes you just anyway. So I'm trying to work out a way to get my dog back because I don't I don't think that's in any way fair. Um, and she's not responding to my messages anymore either, so that's fun. Um, and in the meantime, I've done what I always do after a breakup to try and make myself feel numb and forget, which is to dive into the dating scene at the shitty end, Tinder. Um, I don't know what exactly it is about Tinder that just, you know, makes it the worst. Like, there are a couple of things. First of all, there's a lot of like people who only use it as a way to market their like webcam shit, which like no, no, that's not what I'm here for. If I wanted to see your webcam shit, I would find it. I'm not I'm not signing up to your premium bullshit so we can hang out for an afternoon. Like, what is wrong with you? I'm here to find someone who cares about me. I'm not like and honestly, even if all I cared about was getting laid, I wouldn't fucking buy your premium webcam shit for it. Like, get over yourself. What the fuck? And then, of course, the people who actually have genuine accounts, I mean, it's just like all the people who very obviously couldn't get a relationship any other way. And like, you can kind of tell why just from looking at their bio. Like, I don't know if it's like this everywhere, but at least in Utah, there's just like hundreds of people on there who just seems like their entire identity is, hey, let's go, live in a van in the middle of nowhere for 6 years with nothing to our name because fuck it, drugs. Like, geez Christ, people, what, you know. And if it's not people who are just like absurd hippies who haven't realized that hippies aren't a thing anymore, um, then it's people who think that hiking is a personality trait, and you know, like, I get it. It's Utah. There's not much to do except go out to the mountains or the desert or whatever. But like, still, ugh. And honestly, like, even though we're in that situation, I have never gone out to the mountains or the desert in Utah. Like, I don't care. I just sit at home and play games. Um, which By the way, now that I don't have a regular full-time job, you can watch me stream basically every day. I've been running this Dark Souls mod that Inferno Plus made and trying to get summoned so I can farm sunlight medals, but but no one wants to summon me. It's been so hard to get sunlight medals. I'm actually pretty close though. I only need 8 more to get the last tier, so that's not too bad. Amazingly, despite being suddenly unemployed, I mean, not because I got fired or anything, I was doing seasonal work as a work from home uh, phone center person, and and the season ended, and they decided not to turn me into a full time employee and just end the season. So fair enough. But that does mean that I am currently unemployed and looking for a real job because YouTube still doesn't pay me any money. I mean, lucky for me, the whole unemployment situation is not completely terrible at the moment. I do still qualify for unemployment insurance, so that means I also qualify for the government, for the federal bonuses to that, which are, um, well, I mean, it'll still be less than what I was making before, but it'll be livable. Um, so that's something. Although, actually, I've had some unexpected windfalls this month. I filed my tax returns, so that's coming at some point, and that's going to be nice. I mean, it's not like a crazy amount, but it's something, which is nice. And my last job did pay fairly well, so I do have a little bit of money left over from that. And my girlfriend dumped me, so I get to return the Valentine's presents I had bought for her, which were kind of expensive, so that's something, I guess, technically. And there's talk of a new stimulus with a direct deposit thing happening at some point. I don't know when. I heard someone say that Biden was planning on like $1,400, which would be awesome. Doubt it. Doubt it's gonna happen, but that would be awesome. um, but I mean, even if that does happen, it's just gonna go straight into paying off my debt. uh, So basically, for the time being, I'll be able to survive financially, and maybe if government, if the stimulus goes through, I'll even be able to pay off some debt. But that's about it. That's basically where my life is right now. I'm single, don't have my dog anymore. I might be able to make a decent living for a little while, depending on how things go with the government. Yeah, life is great. The pandemic has been awesome. Um, and yes, I am legitimately making an entire YouTube video just to vent into the void of the internet because life is meaningless and who gives a shit. I mean, I only have 36 subscribers. No one's gonna see this video. It doesn't matter. I'm just uploading 3 times a week for no fucking reason anyway. I mean, realistically, I'm being overdramatic. Life isn't that bad, you know. I've got a roof over my head. I've got, shit to keep me occupied. I'm learning Japanese right now, and it's actually going pretty smoothly. Um, Starting an exercise regimen. Don't know how long that'll last. I've done that before. Like I've mentioned this in previous videos, but I literally had like a solid exercise regimen for like 6 months or something, and then just woke up 2 months later and realized, wait, it's been 2 months since the last time I exercised. Why the fuck did I stop? So it might not be possible for me to keep to an exercise regimen forever because I might just randomly forget for 2 months and not even realize it because I'm a piece of shit. Um, but I'll at least make another effort. Why not? It really doesn't help that I don't even really have like people I can hang out with, you know? I mean, obviously the pandemic has made that really hard in general. But before the pandemic, all the people I hung out with were either people that I hung out with at my local game store, um, which obviously is not a safe place to go hang out now, or they were the friends that I had known for a lot longer and would actually come over to my house and shit. Um, but those friends now live in different cities, so we don't get the chance to hang out all that much, even before the pandemic thing, or aside from the pandemic thing. And like the third category of people I might hang out with was people I knew from work, but I'm not currently working, so I don't know anyone from work. So I'm just feeling kind of isolated, honestly, and it really sucks. I'm an adult and I don't live with my family, and I haven't for years, and I understand what it's like to live on your own and be like relatively alone, and that part's fine. But I would like to be able to go hang out with people at some point. So, if you ever wanted to be a friend, or, I mean, not really a friend, but, if you want to chat, come join our Discord. I have one. Nobody's in it yet because so far it's linked to my Patreon. I don't know. I might remove that and make it just open, and then just make tiered rewards that are connected to Patreon. I don't know. Let me know in the comments how you feel about that idea, or whether or not you give a shit about my Discord. Um, I know this video has been really complainy, and that's because I do kind of want to complain about this, but I'm also kind of playing up the existential terror for comedic purposes. But I mean, realistically, life isn't a complete disaster. Not having work means I have more free time for YouTube and stuff, which is it's nice. Um, you know, I've been playing a lot of interesting games lately. Um, I've been thinking about getting back into RPG Maker, but it has such a price tag on it. I don't know. I've been using GDevelop. I'm gonna make a video about that. Um, and it has a lot of advantages over RPG Maker, like the fact that you can do things that aren't RPGs. But it's also much less of a complete suite of tools that really gives you all everything you need to make this specific kind of game. Um, and I think the newest version of RPG Maker has more shit going on, so I'm kind of interested in it, but I'm not sure if I'm ready to pull the trigger on that price tag. Um, eh. I mean, thinking about it realistically, paying $80 for a development software isn't that crazy, since it's a full license forever and all that. But I don't know. I don't know. Well, the reason I got into it, or was thinking about getting into it, is because I played a couple of games recently that were made in not the newest engine, but the last one, MV, I think. And some of them did some interesting things that I didn't even know you could do in RPG Maker. Like one of them had this admittedly very small section where your avatar would just walk around the overworld, and instead of entering random encounters and doing this side scrolling battle thing, you just had you just would press the space bar to attack as if it was a top down Zelda type of thing, which if I could figure out how to do that, I might just fucking do that, because I've been trying to make something along those lines for a while in GDevelop, and it has been I mean, like, I love gdevelop, but it's so limiting in so many ways. Um, and it's open source, so if more people get into it, more development will be done and it'll be more powerful. But like, it's kind of like saying Linux is potentially the most powerful because, like, let's be real, no one who gives a shit about their user experience is using Linux. Um, it's just not a fun user experience. But yeah, whatever. My point is, I've got more free time, so I'm using it to do creative things, and that in and of itself is pretty fulfilling. I do wish I had some people in my life that I could spend time with outside of, just pouring all my time into YouTube. But, oh well, that's life sometimes. Anyway, use the comment section to leave an F and talk about your own problems, because I'm sure everyone's got problems right now with the pandemic and shit. Um, you know, tell us how your life has fallen apart ever since, you know, you got laid off. Because that is so fun. Like, I actually got laid off in February from a different job. Last February. I mean, um, and and then I was unemployed basically throughout the entire year. I mean, I had a little bit of temp work here and there, but mostly I was on unemployment, which was fine in the summer months when they had that huge like bonus payment on top of it, which was great. That really made up for all the time that I wasn't getting that. It felt nice. But then that disappeared, and it instantly went from making a nice living to, oh God, I might be able to afford rent if I spend literally all of my income on it, or I might just go homeless. Fuck. Um, you know. And then I got that temp job that I had until just now. So, you know, that made the financial situation better again. And then now we're here. And I'm just desperately hoping that Biden's plan goes through, because he's proposed 300 extra bucks per, per week per person until September. And I'm like, oh, thank God, man. That'd be so good. Nobody wants to hire me for some reason. Uh, I mean, it's not like I'm unemployable or anything. It's just like nobody's fucking hiring because it's a pandemic. you know? Anyway, fun times, fun times. But yeah, let me know in the comments how you feel about the pandemic and how much fun you've been having since everything fell apart. And yeah, yeah. And I'll see you in the next life. Laters. Bye. Hey, thanks for watching the video. If you have any things to say about it, leave those in the comments section. If you like the video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, ring the bell, share the video, tell your friends, start a cult, sacrifice your firstborn and paint their skull golden. I don't know, not that last bit. No human sacrifices. I'm legally liable. No, none of that shit. But, I got Facebook, Twitter, Twitch. I stream on Mondays. I also have a Patreon, but the obvious caveat with Patreon is you never donate to anyone unless you have money to burn. And if you have money to burn, then why not donate to a charity instead? I've got a few linked in my description at all times. I'm not affiliated with any of them, obviously, but yeah, I just thought they were cool. So, thanks for watching.